This is ANZCHAM's Insight series, where we thrive with every insight.
Hi guys, I'm 𝐀𝐍𝐙𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐌'𝐬 Executive Director for the Australian New Zealand Chamber of Commerce, or more fondly known as ANZCHAM.
My name is Benjamin Romualdez. I'm the President of the Australian New Zealand Chamber of Commerce.
I'm Nancy Castiglione, Director of Partnerships for ANZCHAM. Welcome to ANZCHAM's Insight series, where we share our panel discussion from previous MMMs. What's exciting about this series is we also share exclusive content and tidbits that were not included in the panel discussion.
So in case you missed out, or you want to tune in from the comfort of your home, your office, or even your car, turn up the volume, sit back, and get some insights about the Philippines.
It's going to be a very exciting panel because I'd like to think that as the discussions go by event after event, the discussions also deepen.
So I'm really excited about talking or probably peeling the onion and going another layer down to talk about how AI is actually transforming organizations, what are the challenges of implementing AI, what are the security concerns around it, and how we can transform Philippines into a center of excellence.
What I'm excited to bring is we work with a lot of organisations that have come at multiple stages of adoption of AI, from having adopted it and failed and wanting to understand why it's failed, having adopted and wanting to scale.
More talking about the experience. So my role obviously is Asia. I see a lot of things happening in Asia from an AI point of view. But also from Australia, there are a lot of learnings that we have from the industry. Many organizations are somewhat on this journey for AI adoption. So my job here on the panel today is talk more or less about those experiences.
Move on to the main event that everyone's been waiting for. I first want to welcome one of our board members, who's also the Director and GM of GHD Philippines, Mr. Simon Terry. He's our moderator tonight.
Thank you very much, Kimmy. What a great audience. It's good to see such a turnout. And in many ways, I'm not surprised with a topic of AI. It's, I think we're all in the same boat of wanting to learn more. So I'm going to start off with Kapil. I'm going to ask you a question. First is, what are the challenges of implementing AI, and is the Philippines being viewed as a center of excellence?
One of the challenges that I have personally experienced in the Philippines, and I was talking to you as well, the shortage of labor, right? So we all understand there are advantages of implementing AI in our work environment, but if I implement it, where do I go source for a resource? Who's going to provide me with that resource? How do I test, whether the resource I'm acquiring from the market is actually going to deliver? The other challenge that I think you briefly talked about is there are hundreds of LLM models around. One of the common challenges across all the LLM models is the hallucination, and we've all heard about that term over and over and over again. There are companies that promise that our LLM model is hallucination free. Well, the answer is there isn't any model that is hallucination free. It depends on what is the level of accuracy you can attain. You could go up to 97%, 98%. But essentially, the risk of implementing a solution that has a high amount of hallucination and low amount of accuracy is that when you put it in front of your customer is asking for something else and your model is responding something else. And what it's responding is completely off track. And you cannot put this kind of solution at the forefront of your business that interact or interfaces with your customers. Right now, we are all grappling with solving challenges of AI. But when we get to AGI, I think the large part of the hallucination problem will be solved. So those are some of the challenges: the talent pool availability, the hallucination. The third is the technology infrastructure readiness and the security around it. We all have been talking about we are ready as a technology provider, but recently there was a survey rolled out by Stanford, and they found employees responding to that survey and saying only 20% employees feel that we are ready to embrace AI in its full form. They don't think technologically, culturally, we are ready to adopt AI. So I think that's another challenge of implementing AI.
Look, you've opened up a lot of topics there, but I'm going to pick on the one about resources and jobs. And Michelle, can you provide some insights into the demand for AI-related jobs here in the Philippines?
If we're talking about AI jobs, I think we have to realize that it's a spectrum of jobs when it comes to AI designers, those who ideate and come up with concepts on what AI can be used for. So that means, just having said that, it means anyone can actually come up with a cool AI idea that's going to be useful for social impact, for business, and so on. In terms of jobs, I think it really depends on the industry, how mature they are already in terms of looking for these AI use cases. Like the retail industry would be needing more of the AI jobs who will be developing on top of the existing AI solutions to reach the customers, like more intelligent chatbots and other agents for customer interfacing channels. What we have prepared in the association is a Philippine skills framework for analytics and AI. With the skills framework, everyone may be guided in terms of what type of jobs and skills are there. Only when we start counting, really, who are taking up these careers and taking courses on these specific skills, will we know that we have more of, more demand from AI engineers than data scientists or maybe data annotators. I think that's the first place that we should go to look for the data to be able to really quantify that demand.
It leads me to a follow-on question about the sustainability of these jobs. If we're seeing AI creating, it's going to start creating itself, what is the sustainability of these jobs that we see now for today, but in 1 year, 5 years, are they still going to be relevant jobs?
So I think in terms of where we are in sustainability, before we even aspire to have these AI engineers, let's take an inner assessment first into our organizations and see if we can even sustain the AI solutions with data that we already own. It's just there. So we need data governance, and basic data analytics.
Which leads on to another interesting area, which is in the cyber security. And I'm going to ask you a question, Prashant, about we think about AI creating AI, and then we think about cyber security and what could happen. So are there any accreditations to enhance organization security governance that you can talk to?
Now, the generative AI is something that is giving good outcomes from a cybersecurity point of view, where many organizations product developers are using that to deliver certain outcomes. So when we go through threats, response, detection, and activities from a cybersecurity viewpoint, these models are trained to give certain outcome. And these outcomes are basically surpassing the traditional safeguards that we see in cybersecurity space, just in general. So, I mean, very powerful tool if you go to see how do you bring cybersecurity into all of this. Coming to your point on accreditations, there are frameworks which talks about the overall cybersecurity when it comes to AI, but specifically when it comes to accreditation, the standard ISO 42001 talks about the overall cybersecurity aspects within the standard, but it also touches upon 3 key principles, which is the ethics, transparency, and fairness in implementing an AI solution. And that's how 42001, the ISO standard, which is a certifiable standard, has been streamlined quite a bit to meet the EU AI Act. But again, there are other countries which are following it. There are new standards and all. But from accreditation viewpoint, I guess that's the key one, I would say, which gives some sort of a benchmark to organizations to deploy things, manage things, and develop things in a certain manner.
I'm going to change pace. I think we're going to go down to a simpler level, and the question to Tui is, what does successful AI look like?
So I was told to keep it really short. So successful AI. So AI is great. Gives you a lot of insights. Gives you a lot of recommendations. Tells you what to do. But nothing's compelling your organization to do it. AI is great. It's useless without action. The more you maintain an asset, the more it's going to break. That's the tip. If your organization is embracing AI, and if you're literally stopping at, oh, that's great, but we'll take it aside, we'll minute it, we won't take any action on the base of that, then it's not a sustainable solution. You have to combine, like I call AI advanced analytics, right? You have to combine advanced analytics with either process automation or industrial automation to actually return value to your organization, either by giving better customer service, better internal customer service, or value back to the bottom line, or even like better community, adding value to the fact that you're delivering faster community services. So that to me is a sustainable model that will get funding from the board, because they will see, right, it's actually an initiative that the organization has put in. It should be embedded into every function of your organization. How do you enable HR to leverage the tool sets that are available to you? To me, that's a scalable, sustainable AI way stuff.
There's a really interesting, we've touched on the interaction between humans and AI, the interface between the job and the AI and how that impacts. I'm going to come back to Kapil. What strategies do you have to balance AI and automation with humans? How do you get that?
The human touch will continue to remain vitally important, and with the increased demand, and a typical example of that could be in the banking sector, when they were talking about the computerization, they said paper-based jobs will be displaced, and we all know what happened to the banking sector after the computerization, right? It just grew multifold. And globally right now, while there is a lot of talk about AI, but if you look at the adoption, and I think that was a question in our previous session as well, and vast majority of people are still not using AI in full force. In fact, 60% people are just piloting it right now. And 20% think that they've piloted it, but they are a little hesitant and reluctant. There's a reluctance internally within the organization to implement it 100%. So are we there yet where we lose the balance between automation, AI, and the human? The answer is no. And we as an organization use AI a lot from an agent assist standpoint, or we are using it like I said earlier, a voice bot and a chat bot. So those are the things that are still going to keep humans in the loop. Yes, in short term, there will be a bit of automation using AI and a combination of those two. But in a long run, with the growing population and growing number of customer base, the jobs are rather going to grow.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer. It's not just about adding, but it's really about understanding and using the value that can come from it. So, excellent. Look, with that, I'll open it up to the floor.
If you're tuning in now, we're really excited to share that this community in ANZCHAM is all about building a vibrant and diverse membership so that you can access connections and services that you need to build your business and grow your networks in the Philippines. We have a really exciting program up for the financial year of 2025, and we're sure that you'll be able to get what you need and find what you need from our amazing community.
If you're looking to come to the Philippines and engage in business in the Philippines, there's no better place to start than ANZCHAM. There is plenty that you can gain from other members that are in the organisation.
My question is, which one is less challenging or less difficult? Training somebody familiar with the industry, or an AI technologist training that person to be familiar with the industry and become useful in that industry?
What a great question.
So, yeah, it's not a sarcastic comment, but it's also based on how much budget you have to bring someone. Yeah. I guess with every opportunity comes skill sets and job responsibilities and things like that. How fast you want to run and how quickly you want to build the system based on the skill sets and all. It's a matter of that point to be clarified, I would say. But I guess
I think the question was angled at, can you train the AI, or do you train the competency of mining?
Well, I'm glad to hear the question. At least it's been established that the industry knowledge with AI is the sweet spot that you're going after. Learning AI, I wouldn't say is very easy. It has to have certain skill sets. It depends how long is your journey. Are you looking at deploying AI right now? You would probably want to go source somebody from the market, an AI expert, who can come in and learn your industry and deploy solution and train your employees.
I'm very biased for humans. Well, hopefully we all are. But I'm very biased on just training up the ones that you already have.
Sorry, Simon, can I just have an extension to that? That might trigger some thoughts in the audience as well. I mean, having AI skills and development activities that an organization needs to take is one thing, but there are some surrounding factors which are also crucial, which is your compliance and legal matters that applies to your industry, your strategic alignment, where you want to go with that AI tool development or whatever you want to do with AI, that also matters. Your framework that you want to operate in, the risk assessment side, the risk management side for the organization. So whoever is doing the development or the skill sets that you want for the AI side of things needs to understand all these aspects as well.
Got a question over here?
Yep. We're spending way too much money on the development of AI, like in the trillions of dollars, right? Where's the ROI? And look at the computer industry. You guys remember the tech bubble burst? I mean, enough of you are old enough in this room, I think, to remember. The tech bubble did burst, and it all kind of came crashing down. Obviously, tech didn't go away. It's come back stronger, but it took a hit. So what are your thoughts on that happening in AI?
The amount of money spent on AI is literally more around generative AI. So generative AI caters for people that I don't have enough data, so I'm just going to borrow your data, and hopefully you'll be able to answer that question for me. So therefore, they need to be able to process large volumes of data around that kind of stuff, right? And hence they need to compute. And they're all kind of competing against each other. So I think there will be an ROI purely because they will embed it into every single application that you use, and they will charge you a little bit more for it. So to answer your question, definitely an ROI, but it rules out a lot of the smaller players, smaller players that are built on top of ChatGPT, there's a risk because obviously the new versions change, things get busted. But then there's evolutions of that.
I think that was a good answer. We've nearly run out of time. Got a question over here. Any other questions?
I'd like to ask your perspectives on the use of generative AI or AI tools in the context of the academe, especially now that we're adopting outcomes-based education.
The short answer is that each of the schools would really have to come up with their own policy. So the Association of Private Schools, PASCU, I don't know if you're familiar, they have come out with guidelines on use of AI for the schools. And whether or not your school will adopt it, it's really up to you. And that is why at the AAP, we have educational institutions who are part of our ecosystem, because who else will let you know of the pros and cons? At least when you create your own policies, eyes wide open, this is what it's going to give you. These are the consequences. And you will also, there's also a track for AI educators that we also have crafted. Because everyone, I think, the sir said, AI has to be introduced to not just the students, but also the teachers.
Absolutely. Look, and at the end of the day, we've got to embrace. We can't fight something like this. We have one other question over this side of the room to balance it out. I feel like I've asked lots of questions over that side.
I run a school around the world, and we develop curriculum on entrepreneurship for about 30 million students around the world. A lot of people were overcharging. How do I know where to cap my budget?
How much budget do you have?
But the thing is that if they don't
I'll give you a 20% margin, I'll take 80%.
Yeah.
The market dictates itself, right? So obviously, if you're going to go after the Googles, AWS talent, that traditionally are the data science PhD guys, they probably look at a project, oh yeah, I'll get it done in 3 years. But the market dictates itself. You don't necessarily need the top talent at the end of time to build some of your stuff. You've already got frameworks in place. Find capable people willing to learn, willing to educate themselves, and let them go at it. And you'll find that these guys will be able to uptake stuff really quick. With generative AI, they can self-learn, self-teach, and they're probably more innovative and entrepreneurial than, say, someone that's coming out of Google or something like that.
Yeah, and back in those days, we didn't know, but now there are platforms that actually test you on those skills and gives you the proficiency level that can help you decide how much do you want to pay for what kind of resource.
Like any good show, there's an encore. I feel like there's one more question.
Hi, I'm Jaya from Nesda Global. So, question for everyone. As we know, each and every company, there is a different culture and there are different people who's driving the culture. So my question is, when is really the best time for companies to jump into the digital world?
When do you want to decide when to jump into digital is totally dependent on the ROI. I think there was a question about ROI of all this technology solutions, where we are going with it. If there is no ROI, jumping into AI, automation, or analytics just for the sake of it is not gonna cut it, is not gonna help you. You gotta take a call, but do an ROI first and then implement a technology solution is what I would say.
Look, I'll draw a conclusion there, and I'd like to thank our four panelists, Tui, Prashant, Michelle, and Kapil. Thank you very much for your time in the panel.
Fine, we'll just thank the speakers again and the panelists again. And again, I just wanted to plug our upcoming events. I'm glad everyone enjoyed the AI. So every month we try to continue the insights. Next month's final MMM will be Business Predictions for 2025 with BDO and Ambassador HK.
So as business leaders, it's up to us to get the rest of the organization prepared for this technology. Because what is different with AI is that it touches everyone, not just our customers, not just our partners in the business, not just the stakeholders, but everyone, all the citizens, everyone, not just here in the Philippines, but maybe globally.
What we need to keep in mind when we look at AI, more from a deployment, more from an assessment, or more from a strategic angle, let's just remember that AI aligns with your strategy. You keep in mind your compliance and regulation requirements. You keep in mind the framework that you need to deploy to make sense for your business and your business functions, and what output you need from this particular AI, be it a tool or be it a process or whatever you're adopting for your business.
AI is nothing new. It's advanced analysis. What makes it very interesting and very exciting at the moment is the amount of data that we have access to. Typically, a lot of the big organizations have had access to that data for a long time. What AI brings is a competitive advantage for smaller agile organizations that can tap into models that are generally available, such as ChatGPT, etc., to be able to leverage that to provide a competitive advantage. So we believe that AI is makes smaller companies, medium companies more competitive, bringing them to the level of competing with larger organizations.
One piece of advice is for all the ANZCHAM members and industry in general is that there's a lot of concern about how AI is shaping the future, and a lot of people are concerned about how it is going to reduce jobs. So I want to sort of caution everyone, it is not going to reduce jobs in a long run, because when the computerization happened, everybody thought we are going to lose jobs that are paper-based today. But it actually catapulted us into even better future and more jobs being created. So even if AI automates some parts of the jobs, essentially we are going to create more and more jobs.
The ANZCHAM Insight series is where you can get exclusive content that you won't find in our monthly members meetings. Stay tuned to our social media channels for more information, or reach out to us on our website.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you were able to find some valuable insights or even learnings, or maybe some validation of what you're doing in your business is going the right way, or maybe a new way. We'd love to welcome you to our community, or even if you'd like to sponsor or share your own insights next time, please contact us at www.anzcham.com.
If you want to be a part of making this happen, please contact Kyle at anzcham@communications.com.
International SOS is a global lifesaver. It supports over 10,000 international organizations, striving to ensure their staff are safe overseas. While most business travel issues are minor, the occurrence of natural disasters, disease outbreaks, crime and terrorism are a reminder of the need to think ahead. International SOS therefore assesses potential risks using its in-country expertise to advise on preventative programs while offering routine assistance and emergency response.
In Nigeria, we have the most deadly form of malaria present. Our clients are very concerned about this risk to their employees. We provide them with information before the employees come here. We can supply them with the medicines and support to prevent catching malaria. And then once they're here, if they do become ill with malaria, we have the clinics and the people to treat them and get them back to health.
I think the real unique point of this organization is the way that we work together as a network. And teams are going to work on the same IT system, they are going to speak live, and they really are going to function as one unit. We are really transforming the life and the outlook for the people that we are dealing with. Not a day is similar to the other one, and every day is special.